Hello everyone and welcome back to further coverage of Grand Prix Sao Paulo for the MSEM format. I'm Caillou, and today we're going to be watching the round 4 match between Chartate, otherwise known as Emily, and Mako. So Emily is playing Black Red Burn, and Mako is playing a similarly fast deck in their own right, which is Egg Combo. Using Egg of Avarice as a tutor, it puts together a combo of cards like Departed Evangel, which can be cast from your Departed Evangel or Tide Hollow Lich, both of which can be cast from your graveyard under certain conditions. Miner's Barracks, which is a red and a green enchantment that creates a gold token anytime you cast a creature spell, and a sack outlet with a relevant effect like Imp Dead Mother, which drains your opponent out, or Corvid Heretic, which makes your opponent lose life every time a card leaves your graveyard and gains you life, so on and so forth. So Emily opening up with Banished Companion, which is basically our format's Goblin Guide. Of course, it does have a disadvantage in aggressive matchups here, but it's not going to matter if Mako is just going to combo out. Top decks the Miner's Barracks, which is the last piece that they were missing. Now the only thing they have to do is not die before they can get all of their pieces online. Of course, Emily also has interaction in the form of Brazen Sacrilege, which can take out the Corvid Heretic. So Mako's just going to play the Nomad's Township and pass. Interesting. I think that if you, I feel like you could just play Nebula and then play one of the Corvid Heretic or Departed Evangel, but the thought might be that you want to keep them in hand so that you can. Yeah, actually, I guess the reason you want to keep both of them in hand so you can go turn 2 Miner's Barracks, turn 3 cast Corvid Heretic, cast Departed Evangel, you make 2 gold. Off of the gold, you can cast Egg of Avarice. With Egg of Avarice, you can tutor up, right here, Autumnal Watch, and then use Autumnal Watch to effectively keep sacking Departed Evangel until you find a 1-mana payoff or like basically another Corvid Heretic. Here, now that you already have the Autumnal Watch, you don't even need that. You just go infinite. And Emily already, I think, made a huge mistake by on their turn 2, they played Brazen Sacrilege on face rather than holding it up for interaction. Though I guess Emily's logic is probably you play Brazen Sacrilege, then next turn you can activate its ability, sack it from grave. But the problem is both Forbidden Brew and Unjust Sentence are loss of life, so Brazen Sacrilege actually doesn't affect them. It affects Banished Companion, but not any of your current spikes. And I think going double spike and holding up the Brazen Sacrilege would have been better. Well, Emily does get the Besot Charm, which can be doubled by the Brazen Sacrilege here. But I think since Mako's at 9 life, you just play a land and then triple spike them, and we're going to a game 2. Mako had the combo in hand, but then Burn just hit the turn 3 nut, and that's how it goes sometimes. Especially with Mako losing so much life to their own lands by virtue of playing a fast deck. Yup, and with that, Emily takes game 1. And again, I think if Mako untapped, they had that game. Of course, the problem is that Departed Evangel does cost 1 life each time you cast it. So they might not have been able to loop Departed Evangel. No, wait. No, yeah, the Corvid Heretic would actually offset their life loss. So, yeah, that would have been, if Mako had gotten to untap, they would have just won on the spot. They had the perfect combo pieces in hand. Okay, getting into game 2. Emily with a whopping 5 spike hand, but only 1 land. And this Reckless Festivities might be stranded for a while. But Emily is just going to keep it. Again, all you have to do is count to 20, and then in this matchup you might just need to count to 15, depending on how much Mako hurts themselves with their own lands. Mako is going to keep here. They have the Blessed Spell Root from the sideboard, but they don't have a sack outlet to actually kill it. And Volatile Stonework is intended again to be like a good blocker / removal for Emily's creatures, but it doesn't matter if Emily's entire game plan is all spike focused. The double Miner's Barracks is you basically only want 1 in this matchup, so it's a dead card. And without access to comboing out quickly, I think this might be it for Mako, especially if Emily gets to top deck right here. Playing the Shardstone Rift first, I think, is a bit of a mistake. You want to play the Wayfarer's Shrine and orchestrate a Storm Surge, because you don't want to accidentally lose too much life to the crumbling precipice. Because you can go Wayfarer Shrine and then get Lava Torn Fields next turn, which isn't a pain land. And also, I think playing the Unjust Sentence first is a mistake, because you want to orchestrate your Storm Surge and then actually have spells to be able to cast them from orchestration. And orchestrating it here also potentially lets you evaluate your options and kill a threat if you need to. And Mako drawing another piece of removal, that's not a proactive game plan, and it's not going to help versus what Emily's doing. And is going to lose 1 life to the Nebula, so has officially lost 3 life to land so far, but will manage to run out the Miner's Barracks right here. And a 3rd land for Emily. This might not seem like it, but these lands are actually really good, because it means that on turn 3 or later, Emily can cast a Reckless Festivities to get more Lava Spikes and guarantee to kill Mako. I feel like right here you can just double Storm Surge and then Reckless Festivities the next turn, or if you get a if you draw a 3rd Lava Spike, just kill them. Yeah, so it's going to Storm Surge, and then it's going to Basat Charm, hit face. Makes sense. Now, Mako is dead to... If they lose a single more life to their lands, they instantly die, and Emily just needs to top deck another burn spell to win. So yeah, Mako is locked out of ever using the Shardstone Rift, essentially. And they have, like, this Blessed Spell Root would be really nice if it's just 1 mana gain 5, but it actually needs to die, and Mako doesn't have a sack outlet to make that happen. And it's not, they can't even point their own removal at it, because Fair Trial is Exile, not Destroy. Okay, so he's going to play the Shardstone Rift tapped, and then presumably Blessed Spell Root, and then pass. Oh no, they're paying 1 for the Volatile Stonework, just as a hasty 1/1, I guess? They can also cast the 2nd Miner's Barracks here, but I don't know that that's right. No, yeah, they're just going to pass. They're not even swinging with the Volatile, just keeping it up as a blocker. Okay, and the 4th land is kind of not what you want to see, but you can also go, you can just Reckless Festivities this turn, and then next turn untap, kill Mako. But, yeah, it looks like tapping 3, Reckless Festivities is going to come down. And remember, if Mako loses, like, this is basically Mako has to win next turn, because, like, there's no way that Emily is stopping until she gets a 3rd burn spell. And if Mako takes any damage from this, they're dead to double burn spell anyways next turn. But I think they kind of have to dig themselves, because, again, most of their deck is also 1-drops, and the only way they're really winning this is if they untap next turn and win. Okay, so first off gets Umberdu Goliath. Doesn't have haste, so it's not actually going to be worth it. And there's the Unjust Sentence for Emily, so guaranteed lethal next turn. Mako digging even more, gonna get the Miner's Barracks number 3, not what you want to see. Okay, and Emily's digging even deeper. I think you could just stop now, but I think they're worried about the Blessed Spell Root potentially, so they're trying to dig even more. Egg of Avarice from Mako is a reasonably interesting draw. Emily is going to pass and just stop there. I think Mako recognizes now they've just got to keep digging. So gets a Shardstone Rift, again, useless there. They need more of their combo pieces. And remember, you can't overpay. So if you reveal something that you can't pay for, you don't lose. You just you're forced to pass. So I think that Mako should just keep digging and try to hit like a Vault Keeper. You need like Vault Keeper plus a sack outlet, really. Or honestly, a sack outlet itself is good, because then you can sack the Blessed Spell Root and gain some life. Okay, and with that, Mako grabs the Autumnal Watch. So now I think, can Mako put together lethal here? I guess the answer is I don't know. Mako does have, they have 2 sack targets. Oh, Vault. Naturally drawing the Vault Keeper does it. Okay, because now you play Autumnal Watch, you play Vault Keeper, you play Egg of Avarice sacking a Blessed Spell Root to grab a Tidehollow Lich. Then you can just keep sacking a Tidehollow Lich Autumnal Watch and then recasting it to its own ability, because Tidehollow Lich is a black 1-drop that says you may cast this from your graveyard as long as you control an artifact. And then each time you cast it, Vault Keeper drains Emily. So with that, Mako just wins this turn. The big Reckless Festivities backfire. So yep, Mako running out the Vault Keeper. Okay, dropping the egg. Now they just need to find the Tide Hollow Lich. You sack the Blessed Spell Root, gain 5 life just in case. And yep, they found the Tide Hollow Lich. So now they just play the Autumnal Watch and they have lethal. That went from Mako has absolutely nothing for the combo to, hey, nope, thank you, Emily, for drawing me into every single one of my combo pieces. So yeah, now you just keep sacking Tide Hollow Lich. Um, Vault Keeper drains every time it's put into your graveyard. You can recast Tide Hollow Lich because you'll always control Vault Keeper. And then each time you recast um, Tide Hollow Lich, uh, you get a gold, so you can just keep endlessly recasting it. So it's a demonstrable loop that kills Emily right here. But getting the second Vault Keeper off the Autumnal Watch makes it half as long. But yeah, um, yeah, I think at this point Emily could like if you're Mako, you can just like demonstrate that it's a loop and then keep going. But it looks like Emily is wants Mako to play it out. But yeah, this game is over, and so we're going to a game three. Okay, going into game three, and once again Emily has a pretty stacked hand here. She's gonna run out the Wayfarer Shrine, grab a mountain, and then turn one Suitor of the Sea starts putting on a dangerous clock, especially when it's backed up by a turn two Brazen Sacrilege into potential turn three Basat Charm doubled. Of course, the problem is Emily doesn't have a third red source, so that makes it a little harder. But as long as they draw another red source in their next two draw steps, um, Mako is in for a world of hurt. And even without the Brazen Sacrilege doubling immediately, Basat Charm plus Scorch plus Suitor of the Sea triggers is more than enough. Especially again when Mako's deck relies on them, losing so much life to their lands. They're gonna play Volatile Stonework on their first turn, naming Suitor of the Sea. So now Suitor basically can't swing in, and Emily can't mitigate this by scorching the Volatile Stonework either. So the Suitor of the Sea is now basically just an enchantment with mini Sulfuric Vortex text. And Emily drawing another burn spell over here. I mean, I think you can just go Basat Charm Scorch here, and then you hold up Brazen Sacrilege for something else. Oh no, Emily's going to pass, just going to hold up the Brazen Sacrilege here. And Mako does have almost all of the pieces of the combo, though. They have the Miner's Barracks, they have the Vault Keeper, they have the Tide Hollow. They just need, I was about to say they just need a sack outlet, and Egg of Avarice gets Mako a sack outlet. So as long as they, as weird as it sounds, as long as they survive to turn three, they potentially have the combo. Of course, if I think Emily could get greedy here and then play the Brazen Sacrilege on end because it's mana efficient. But if they do that, how does this end up working? Well, let's see. So Mako goes down to 13 on their next upkeep. So okay, with the mountain, you go Scorch, Basat Charm. If you attack in with Suitor of the Sea, Mako is actually not going to block because they need the Volatile Stonework, so they'll go down to 12. And then you go Scorch, Basat Charm. It puts them to 9. Yeah, the interesting thing is if they just played the Brazen Sacrilege on end, it would have been game. Okay, but they still have. But I think the good part about this now, even if it isn't game, they still kept up the Brazen Sacrilege right here. And the important part of that is they can still kill the Vault Keeper, and the reason that killing the Vault Keeper is important. Okay, yeah, Emily's immediately going to kill the Vault Keeper because this stymies the combo somewhat. I don't think that you sack the gold to gain a life right here. It doesn't actually matter for spike damage, and you want to have one more gold around so that you can actually cast the so that after you cast the Tide Hollow Lich, you can cast Egg of Avarice and then egg the Volatile Stone. No, yeah, I think that was a mistake. Oh no, wait, oh no, yeah, you can sack it and then just still hold up the mana. Okay, no, never mind. Yeah, okay. So, because then you just you need 2 mana up so that you can Egg of Avarice, and then I think you still sacrifice Volatile Stonework that kills the Suitor of the Sea anyways, and then you can find an Autumnal Watch, and then because you control Egg of Avarice, you can keep recasting Tide Hollow Lich. Um, oh no, Mako's casting the Departed Evangel. Not sure why. I guess just because it's free. Oh yeah, and you actually, you need to cast the Departed Evangel because you, uh, no, wait. Why is Mako passing? No, Mako, no, no. If Mako had egged the Volatile Stonework, they could have got Autumnal Watch and then sacked Departed Evangel, uh, recast it. No, they don't have a mana to recast it. But then you still kill the Suitor of the Sea in the process. And the reason that this matters is now, wait, Emily's exiling the Brazen Sacrilege. Emily's gonna exile the Brazen Sacrilege and Scorch Face for 6. But this is actually worse. They had the chance to win this turn if they just played Scorch, Basat Charm. Am I missing something? No, actually, no. Yeah, that was the maximum. For some reason, I thought they had another spike. If they had another spike, then they could have just gone Scorch, Basat Charm, another spike. Okay, draws into a pit with Pithwilt. Don't need the removal now. But yeah, they actually couldn't have. I don't think they could have comboed off last turn because they would have been a mana short. Now they can egg Volatile Stonework, grab an Autumnal Watch, and then loop Autumnal Watch with well, you have to loop Autumnal Watch with Tide Hollow Lich until you find a Vault Keeper, and then just win. So Mako does have the win right here, if they see the line. Okay, Mako leading off by sacrificing the Tide Hollow Lich. It doesn't actually matter if you sack the Tide, it doesn't really matter what you sack. I was just saying that you sack the Volatile Stone, but yeah, no matter what you sack, you'll be, you just grab the Autumnal Watch. So now you recast Tide Hollow Lich infinite number of times, and then dig for your Vault Keeper. Corvid Heretic also works because of Departed Event. And yeah, Emily isn't even gonna force Mako to play it out. Is just gonna concede right there. And what a nail-biter set of games. And I think it really just came down to that Reckless Festivities game 2 was super unfortunate. And I think that I honestly think that it was the right play to make. If they hadn't made that play, or maybe it wasn't the right play, but I can see why Emily did it, because if they could guarantee themselves lethal next turn. And they didn't know what the content of Mako's hand was, but in the end it ended up backfiring. And I think that maybe I think that in reflection, you probably could have been like, well, if Emily had just double spiked and then held up the Reckless, and the thing is, the reason I think that holding up Reckless Festivities for next turn might have been better in hindsight is that you double spike this turn, Mako is forced to combo out on their turn to win. Otherwise, you untap Reckless Festivities and you have an extra mana to immediately spike and kill them. Here, the problem was since Emily was on 3, they didn't have an extra land to be able. They didn't have the chance to actually kill Mako or use the cards that they drew before Mako got to use their cards. So it ended up backfiring and letting Mako get to that game 3 where they, in the nick of time, managed to put together the combo again. But yeah, good games to both players. I've mentioned this before, but this has been the most explosive GP we've seen thus far, and I'm excited to see that energy continue into the top cut. But before then, we'll have to see how these players fare in round 5. Until then, this is Caillou signing off.